President, can I say something as a point of order outside my speaking time? Because I'm wondering... No? No, okay. I'm wondering where Mr. Farage is today in this debate. He was a specialist of offshore tax schemes in the Isle of Man. He's a specialist, and he's not there today. Where he is? You have a specialist there? Yeah. Mr. Juncker, you can be the specialist on the government level, but he is on the private level. So you have somebody really who knows how things are working. So it's not possible to have him, but
Herr Verhofstadt.
in any way...
Herr Verhofstadt. Herr Verhofstadt.
Yeah, you can count my time.
It is in your time, please. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, now you can count it. You can count my 40 seconds. Let's hope that he comes back. So, but I have three things to say, Mr. Juncker. The first is, we have now an investigation by the Commission. Let's be honest about it. It has to be a serious investigation, not only about 3 special cases in 3 countries. It has to be about the practices in general. And the investigation has to be about, is it in accordance to European legislation? And the consequence is very clear. Or it is in accordance to EU legislation and there is no problem. There is no problem, then there is a problem with the EU legislation and we have to work based on the proposals of the Commission. But it is in accordance to EU legislation, okay. If it is not in accordance to EU legislation, then, Mr. Juncker, you know that you have a problem. And then we have to discuss that together and to take the consequences of it. That's my first point. Let's have this investigation, but my request is investigation before the end of the year. It is impossible that the European Union continues with a shadow hanging over the European Commission for 6 months now. We have already a lame duck in Washington. It's not necessary to make a lame duck here, now in Europe for the moment. So my request is that you ask to Mrs. Vestager to conclude before the end of the year this investigation. My second point is that we need also to have a special committee in the European Parliament. Yesterday Econ discussed this and I think there is a common ground between all the groups to have a special committee. Because it's not only a question of the executive, it's not the Commission who have to look into the matters of the Member States. It is also our task as a European Parliament to have a special committee and to look into these practices. And my request to the two big groups and the other groups is to support in the Conference of Presidents this special committee. And then my third point, next to the content. I think that it was fantastic, Mrs. Winberg, how you tried to explain that it is not necessary to have more Europe. If there is one topic now where we need more Europe, we have it here on the table. And it's a clear indication that what you're saying doesn't make any sense. How you avoid these practices if it is not on the European level? With a convergence code on the European level, with a European tax compliance legislation on the European level. And that's my point to you, Mr. Juncker. You have spoken about 2 decisions taken by the College this morning, and I'm in favour of that. Exchange of information is one of them. I asked to add 2 things. That is European tax compliance legislation, because we need that if we want to enforce a number of practices. And the second thing what I'm asking is a convergence code. I don't agree by saying, Mr. Pittella, oh, we have to harmonise everything. Harmonise everything to what level? Not to the Belgium level, I hope, on fiscal pressure. That's completely crazy. Not to the French level about some taxations. I think we need a balance between, at the one side, enforceable measures, and at the other side, a room of manoeuvre for the Member States based on the convergence code. And my apply to you is to come forward with these proposals. There is a shadow, Jean-Claude, you have to know that, hanging over the Commission. You know that better than everybody because you have enough experience to know that. And we have it to take it away the fastest as possible. And that's the reason why I ask you to speed up the investigation at one and to come forward with additional proposals on the other hand. Thank you, President.